Good morning, everyone. Day 3. You already know we are super live here in the Speed Project HQ. I'm Faith, hanging out with you this week, and we have many updates from you. First things first, major breaking news. You thought you knew, but you had no idea. LA to Vegas is the race, right? Wrong. 5 teams are starting from San Francisco, and they began at midnight last night. As you can see, beautiful Golden Gate Bridge in the background, and off they went. Let's hear more from our girl, Morgan.
We are 5 minutes away from TSP, and you may be thinking, hey, it's a little bit early. We're not in Santa Monica. No, that's because we have 5 teams from the Bay Area running from San Francisco to Vegas, baby.
Let's freaking
Vegas!
go!
Woo!
Got to keep it interesting for you. So those folks are running longer, harder. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see them in the desert. All right, let's check out our leaderboard. So as you know, BL has been moving towards Vegas as of 7 a.m. PT this morning, 2+ hours away. 2 minus hours from this, which is 48 hours plus 5 hours, 53 hours. You do the math. Everyone's running longer than you and I have been. 53 hours into the race. These are our numbers. BL is 65 miles from Vegas. On pace to break the existing Speed Project solo record. And you know who else is on pace to break the existing record is Emo Body. So the existing men's solo record is around 75 hours. We will give you the exact when it gets down for you to need to know the exact numbers. And the existing women's record is around 82 hours. More information coming on those records on another episode. But both Emo and BL are on track to break those records. Pretty exciting. A lot of speed happening in the desert. What else is going on? Johnny Ramos, Taco's still not slowing him down. 119 miles from Vegas this morning. 132 miles from Vegas, we had Andrew Friedman, and 135 miles behind on the road to Vegas, Gregory Willis, and then Sergio Turul from España towards Vegas. Sergio's one of the ones that came up in the OG route, so different mileage. Everyone headed now on the same path after about Barstow. Lupe Bobadilla coming up 149 miles from Vegas. And then we've got Josh Harris about 154 miles from Vegas as of this morning. You may have heard about power lines if you've heard anything about the Speed Project. This is a shortcut through the desert without access to major roads. So you're carrying everything you need with you. As you know, super hot in the desert. Also drops to really cold at night. So we had like 55 last night, and then folks are using ice to keep themselves cool during the day. It's a lot of ice out on the trail for those who are have a crew that is supporting them along the way. So to get ready for power lines, Josh is carrying over 4.5 gallons of water with him. So not only are you running, you're carrying everything that you need with you, which is just an incredible feat. So 159 miles from Vegas this morning, Laura Eakin, our mom from Kansas. Andy Alvarez, 159 miles from Vegas. And then our 3-pack team solo, Reed Bush, Esther Sun, and Michelle Wang, working together on their way to Vegas. Right behind them, we had Abraham Singleton at 160 miles, and then Elena Maria Pantis from 163 miles on their way to Vegas. So folks are halfway there. Darren Norwood, 163 miles. We got to hear from him in an earlier episode. And then we got Zach McCurdy with born and raised in Queens, New York, 163 miles as well from Vegas. Eddie Vicente and Yamir Adames are working together, also from New York. And we got to see a little bit into how they're eating and moving on the road. They've got a deep freezer. They meal planned ahead of time. So I saw some beef and broccoli being eaten. I saw some spaghetti and red sauce in Ziploc bags. So some folks are doing Burger King and In-N-Out. Some folks are doing bars. We already know about the BL bagel with mustard and olives. I'm sure a lot of you have tried that since we brought that breaking news to you yesterday. And next up, we've got Mitchie Paul from Boston. We're going to be hearing more from him in just a bit about his motivations and what brought him out here. And then Julia Ryan from Germany. We got quite a few Germans on taking the solo action on today. And it's pretty cool to see some of our folks seeing each other out on the road. So we got to see that Yamir and Eddie ran into Julia, also ran into Zach McCurdy, also ran into Jen Curtis, also ran into William Gray. So everyone's out there keeping the energy up. William Gray is right behind Julia with 173 miles left. Jen Curtis, 181 miles left. And then Tony Ross doing push-ups along the way. Unstoppable, incredible. The energy is so high. Shout outs to the crews helping keep everyone's vibes elevated along the way. Then we got Malcolm Ebanks, more sightings from him overnight. Sydney Valerio, who also took the OG route and now has linked up with the rest of the crew. And then we've got Leo Nexio, Yola, Andrea Smith, our ladies from the Bronx that are working together. They've got some good stories going. Dehydration, sleep deprivation. How are you running 100 miles with 4 hours of sleep here and there? Check out their stories. Really fun. And then Timothy Bing and Kavona McCready bringing in. So all 30 of our solo runners have run over 100 miles and are less than 200 miles from Vegas, which is just an incredible feat. Shout outs to all the soloists. Shout outs to the crews keeping them on. We did get a little rain last night, and a lot of our folks were out sleeping in tents, and some of our uncrewed folks are bringing everything with them. So I was loving seeing William's stories where he's got like a tarp, and then like raindrops on the tarp, and I was like, ooh, out there overnight. So it's definitely like you've got your exterior elements and then you've got your interior elements that you're dealing with out there in the desert. So this is the leaderboard as of this morning. We'll have more updates for you on the leaderboard as the day goes on. Let's hear from Mitchie from Boston, everything that was going on with him before he headed out.
What up? What up? We back. It's Tommy Runs. I'm here with another solo runner. I know you.
Yes, you do know
I know
me.
you. I know you. I met you like in the marathon world,
space.
right?
Yep.
So just real quick, I know you, but introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, Mitchie Paul, out of Boston, runner, adventurer, son, friend.
All right.
You know,
Person, human,
Person,
all, that
all
good
the
stuff.
good things,
yeah,
you
all
know?
that stuff. All right, so let's just get right to it. So why are you running? Why are you running from LA to LV? Solo running.
Flights
by
are
the way.
expensive, so I figured
Flights are
running
expensive?
would be cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah. No, all jokes aside, it's just the adventure of it all.
Yeah.
To be part of this crazy community that we have in running, to kind of follow the footsteps of people before me.
Dope.
And definitely pave the way for people coming in after me. You know,
Yeah.
The amount of people that are like, you know, they come to you, say they're inspired, and they tell you all these stories about how you got them to get up and run a few miles a day or just try something new. I just want to keep that thing going. And TSP is something that I really genuinely appreciate the format of the race, everything that it stands for. So I'm happy to be a part of this experience.
So like have you were involved in TSP prior to this year, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Last year I did the relay, same race, LA to LV, and it was a team out of DC, great people. I was fortunate to be part of that, and like I said, even before we ran any miles, I mean, I was sold.
But because some people, that run relay just do. I mean, not just, but always they love relay. They like the energy, and they just relay every time, and they rock out and have fun, right? That's a big difference, relay.
You're
to
right. No,
solo.
you're right.
What's that? Why that switch though?
I guess if we break it down, there's parts of the race that I didn't get to see. Let's be honest, as a relay, there's parts you don't get to see, you don't get to experience. But man, I think it's just something about holding yourself accountable for everything, as opposed to being like, well, that team's gonna do this portion, and then I'll come in and run my 50, 60 miles, whatever it is, maybe. It's just, I guess, the accountability of it all. Like all 300 plus miles, I'm gonna endure on my own, obviously with my crew, but
Yeah. All right, you said 300 plus. So there's, if you don't know, if you're watching this, I think maybe now you kind of know, but there's only one technically there's only one route. There's no rules, but you don't, you can do whatever you want to, so you can get there in any way, right? But you as of right this moment, you've chosen to do the OG route.
Yes, that's correct.
That's
Yes,
correct.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Tell me, I mean, there's a bunch of people running.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody chooses to do that. What was one of the reasons why you chose to go the 340-mile route?
It's the original route. It feels like it makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It does.
Yeah, it does. It makes sense. Like,
I mean, that's like, all right.
why
yeah.
do any other route?
Yeah.
This is the
All
one
right.
that they did first.
Yeah.
I want to do it too.
All right. Cool. Yeah. I just check out that
Yeah,
box.
that's it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I did the OG route because I didn't want to have to come back.
I didn't want to say that, but I definitely don't want to have to come back and try and do it again.
Yeah.
I'll put that outside.
Love
I'll put that out loud. Yeah.
Love that. All right. So, like, what's one of the things? I mean, you've been around it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've seen relay. You've seen documentaries and all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you haven't seen all of the course. Partly
Correct.
because
Yeah.
a lot of it maybe you're in the car or
Yep.
in the camper or whatever,
Sleeping,
someone else
whatever.
running,
Yeah.
sleeping. What are you hoping to experience? Between LA and that sign.
Ooh, that's a great question. Definitely hoping to experience gratitude. I'm hoping to stay grateful all 300 plus miles. I know that's going to be tough. But also, I'm looking to, I hate to say just like find my breaking point, because it's going to, we're going to find that breaking point. But I don't think I truly know what that is. Having only run marathons, right? 26 miles is my longest race distance. 32 miles is my longest training distance. Nothing after that, I know nothing of.
Yeah.
So
You'll find out day
I'll
one.
find out. Yeah.
You'll find out day one.
So I think that's just what it's weird to say looking forward to moments with my crew that you don't know what's going to happen, but I know there's going to be nothing but great moments. So I'm looking forward to those moments.
Yeah. So I mean, before we get out of here,
Yeah.
it's wasn't lost on me when I was here, but it's not lost on me now as I sat in that meeting. And there's not a ton of people that look like us that are at this race or anything kind of remotely like it.
Yeah.
When it comes to like those longer distances, which doesn't mean that doesn't mean things wrong with the race or the distance. But what would you say to folks that are watching this back home that think you're crazy or think they can't do it?
I would tell them, yes, I am crazy.
Yeah.
But crazy in a good way. I'm sure we can all agree. And I would tell them to just go out there and try. There's nothing wrong with trying and failing, but there's something wrong with not trying, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
just go out there and do it. Whatever it is. It doesn't have to be running related. Doesn't have to be fitness related. Just go out there and try.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. Is like it doesn't always have to be like, hey, come do this.
Yeah.
But it means go do that.
Exactly.
So I really appreciate you. I'm glad I was able to catch you before you got out of here and got some rest. Good luck starting tomorrow, and we'll see you at the sign.
See you at the Vegas sign. Let's
All
go.
right, bro.
Wow. Love hearing from Mitchie. So this is Mitchie's first time taking it on solo. Mitchie's done, as you've heard, the relay before. Now we're going to go to a veteran, Yamir Adames. Some of you might recognize this face. Yamir has done Chamonix solo, has done Atacama solo, and this is the third time Yamir is back to do LALV solo. So pretty incredible. Something keeps bringing her back. You can learn more now.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I am very excited to be here.
I'm excited too.
I'm here once again with Yamir Adames,
Yes,
ripping NYC,
absolutely.
BX all day.
Always.
Always, always, always. We were just talking before we started. We believe this is your 7th TSP solo. I believe that is at the top of the leaderboard in terms of solo runs. Do you feel like that's true?
I think it might be
James?
myself, and or Lucy.
Okay.
But I think it's between us three.
Yeah.
But James might have us
Yeah, okay.
ahead a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Easy
we
enough.
We might have to fact check
I
that
mean,
one. Yeah.
I would say that it's so astronomically far above everybody else that it's tier 0. We definitely know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like thousands of miles run. So welcome back.
Thanks.
Welcome back.
Happy to be here.
Curious, just jumping in. Is there something curious what you're hoping to get out of this experience that is either the same or different from LALV previously.
Yeah, so I've been lucky enough to do kind of LALV or pretty much do TSP, but LALV in like all the ways possible within the solo category. So the first year I did it by myself with an amazing crew. Second year I did it as team solo. So I did it with a whole bunch of people that were doing it solo. And then this year I'm doing solo, but I'm doing like a duolo with another person. And I think this one is very special to me because it's like sometimes we are just pushing and getting things done and then we forget to go back to the basics. And this time around, Eddie, who's running with me, he was my first crew member, my first year. So it's a very much like full circle moment. I remember 3 years ago we were somewhere in the power lines or wherever, and I was just like, he ran like 150 miles with me already. And I was like, why didn't you do this? Like, you should have just signed up. And he's like, no, I'm scared and blah, blah, blah. So we kind of peer pressured him into doing it this time around. And I think it's just kind of like a full circle moment of like blending that like crew support to like now, like we're all here is pretty much the OG team, minus a few that came back, and you know, I think it's gonna be fun. We're coming with all the energy,
as always,
but very much like a bigger like energy, and you know, I think it's gonna be great.
Cool. You want to shout out your team, your crew, who you with?
Yes, Boogie Down Bronx Runners.
Yes.
They're in New York City representing the Bronx, an amazing team of people, amazing souls, and we're always here to support them. They're the first people that I met once I got into running, and it's the crew that I'm forever and always going to be with.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, they always show up in a big way. We always know that they're in the room, in the building. And I remember, TSP DIY, just like, I think building from that point has been really dope. I was going to ask your specific support team. Can we shout them out as well?
Yeah, so I have Eric, which we call him endearingly. Is that the word? Right? Like loving?
Endearingly,
yeah,
lovingly.
Endearingly. English isn't my first language. We call him Dutch. And then we have Lenny, who's currently today running OSR, which is an unsanctioned race in New York City. So we tricked him into signing up to come as our
excellent.
So as soon as he's done with that, he's gonna come and fly here. So we'll probably have to like drop a pin and pick him up at the airport and then come back. So it's not my first derouting situation during mid-race, but we're gonna go pick up Lenny as well. So it's pretty much is gonna be us four, 2 runners and 2 crew, Dutch and Lenny.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Going back to your history with TSP, I'm curious, of the 6 previous that you've run, is there a favorite experience that you've had? I mean, I know they're all so different and different things unfold and you run them in different ways, but is there a touchstone that you go back that feels like it's on the board as the thing to, whether it's physically or emotionally, that you're trying to channel as you go into this week?
No, but I would say for like specific sections, like it's gotten to the point where like I'm blending things and I'm standing at a segment or a place and I'm like, was this Friends? Was this TSP year 1, year 2? So like really like just pockets of like moments that like they always like stay with me, but like overall everything was like every year is different, so it's always better next year. So like every rendition that I've done, there's like amazing things to like come out of it, but overall I think your first is always that benchmarker of like what you always want to strive for.
That makes sense. Okay, last question building on that one is one thing you're hoping to get out of the race this year.
I just want to get the miles done, you know, like I want to like show up happy, healthy as always, towards the end, wherever the end ends. But just definitely taking time with like my crew, my friends and community, because you have people that support you physically and also people that support you virtually. Just really taking those moments in. I was just mentioning that we live a fast life. I live in New York, I live a faster life, you know. I guess like stereotypically.
Yeah.
So really just slowing down, and that's kind of what I want to do, and I think that's why I always come back as well, because I need to like hold
Yeah.
and still move, but chill out.
We could all use a
Yeah.
little bit more
Yeah.
of that, I think.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming back again. Always
Absolutely.
wonderful to see you.
Yeah.
Yamir, the machine, Adames is back to continue to add to the Yamir Slam.
Yeah.
So check her out running LALV solo, and we'll be back with more in just a second.
Awesome hearing from Yamir. Yamir is at almond_M&Ms on Instagram and is actually doing an Ask Me Anything right now. So if you have questions about the distance, what you can do, I don't know, whatever it might be, they are down to answer. And Yamir's also had some advice, which was like, if you tell yourself I have 298 miles left, you're going to get overwhelmed. But if you break it down into sections and you're saying, all right, 10 more miles, 5 more miles, and you do it in segments, sometimes it's a little easier to take on. So if you're wondering what it is that these folks are doing to get themselves through, that's one of the insights. More insights coming, more breaking news coming about where people are starting, what they're doing. Is everything LV? We don't know. Anyway, we keep it all super live, and we'll see you soon.